Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to explain how was the celebration of 100 days on Korean server. And also in the end I will give you some advice of which familiar would be good to choose. And in another video I just make one for recruitment because I think on global server you'll be totally different, very different from Korea. So I think it needs a video just to explain that. So one thing that's very peculiar, this is one article explaining 100 days, how it goes in Korea. And this one point that I forgot to tell in the other video is this, because they said that they give this Japanese custom or Korean or Chinese custom accessory, but this have a meaning. It's because in Korea, Japan and China they have, in the beginning of this autumn, we have this, how they call it? We call Harvest Moon. It's like an event for celebrating the good season, and this is a big holiday. So I think that's why they have this event. So I'm not sure if they do the same on global for global players, because they call in Korea Chuseok, but in China and Japan they have another name, and it's like moonlight to see everything related to this event. So I'm not sure if they're gonna do something specific for global or if they're just making the same. I just opened here the Korean server to show you guys. This is the costume, this is the Chinese version. So the items we might get is this one, for example, this one. Also the costumes, we have this one, the traditional Korean dress, the hanbok, the Japanese traditional, and the Chinese. And actually one thing that you can craft it, at least this is on Korean server, I cannot tell for sure. And also you can buy it, but this, I can tell you guys, this is for event. This appeared recently, but if you really like the costume you can buy it, but I highly suggest you to craft it. So that's it. So that's why if it disappear, you'll be later. So there's another thing that I just found out now. This little accessory here, you see this little cat? Is here. 100 days celebration. So we might get this one for free. But they said that you give you also a mount. So maybe they have a mount only for global. I cannot tell for sure. So one thing to point out is that the game starts 2 weeks before on global compared to Korea. So some stuff is coming a little earlier. You see the celebration here starts like 16th of September of last year. And we are just coming out this event, right? And as they said on the patch notes on the global, it's like 1 month. So we only get the, we can see very small here. We only get the access to the familiar only the last day of 2 weeks. So end of September you have to log in every day. And here it says 55 days, but here they say 40 days. So just you guys have an idea, you have to log in at least 28 times. So here is just showing what you get around. One title in the first day, some items for upgrades, enhancements. Maybe here you'll be the mount, not this headpiece. You have to check it out. And after 2 weeks we get the rare 4-star equipment selection box. On global will be different. In global actually we have much more options. So I made a video just for that later. But on this video today we are focused on the rare 4-star familiars. We don't have as many options actually, because Squibby is not launched yet. Just for reference I show the ones we got on 1 year celebration. If you guys watch my videos of summoning and telling about Korean server, for 1 year celebration we got this one. We got this one that you can choose anyone. We got this one also. And this one. And I use one to get this one. So this is what we have now on Korean server, just so you guys have an idea. And on global, we don't have Squeeby. So here we have the Squeeby. Squeeby was supposed to come now, but since they changed everything, the schedule, so I think she will not be here now. So I think we will be most likely these options, and maybe remove on Jack-o'-lantern. So guys, I made this little tier list, so I think it can help you guys to have some notion and which familiar would be interesting to choose. In general, these are familiars that are good choice because they are not just good in one aspect, but in other ones. For example, Familia Arena. And the Arachne, she is outstanding because she's very specific for PvP. So if you plays a lot, she's a good choice. Because she do a very good partnership with Helix. That will be available soon. So you can put like Helix and where's the cat? Here. Angelux. So sometimes some people use these three together, for example. Just so you guys have an idea. And Monte Lion, he does very good on PvE. He can be very useful. Just as a standard fire familiar. Also PvP, but you have to play manual to make a real use of him. And also in Familia Arena, even nowadays on Korean server they use him a lot. So just so you guys have an idea. And in Familia Arena, these two still nowadays is meta on Korean server. They use a lot. Hippocampus, almost all teams use him because his ability to grab the enemies and put them together is very useful. This one also, Stagtorm, his abilities. Bunnybot, I feel like she's on the global situation right now is good, but on long term we don't see her a lot as before. But for PvE she can be a good light familiar in general because the shield can help you. She can in some degree help on the PvP, but on long term you have better options. I think PvP is better being more offensive than defensive. So only in Monte Lion that his immunity helps a lot. So Kona, there's a little chance that Kona will be available. So if Kona is available, he will be here also. A good option. I would put him on PvP also. Even Arena also is very good. Anyway, so Arena also they use him. Not as much as before, but he still uses it a lot. PvP not as before, but for global situation now he would be very good. But we are not very sure if he will be really available. And Remove and the Jack-o'-lantern, they are Asterix exclusive and didn't have any banner, so not very sure if they will make them available. But to be sincere, never seen. They are not very used out actually. For global situation, they can be very good familiars. So just so you guys check, let's check together. So this is the Remove, right? So this is a very good aspect. He reduced the damage, but as I said before, I think on the situation of the PvP, maybe some specific heroes like Destroyer that you need to receive less damage, right? Is a good idea, and having more stun resistance can be good. This can be good if in Lava Valley maybe this is very good because sometimes you know that the enemy didn't use their familiars. So you can use their familiar for some time, and sometimes they rely too much, for example, on using their familiars before doing the damage. So this can be good. And this is a very peculiar one. So he do AoE damage to enemies and removes buffs on the enemy and cause fear for 2 seconds. So it can be a good option in some degree. I don't see a lot of people using him actually. I think maybe because he's more defensive, and the Crabble Lantern. So increase your critical resistance rate and the damage taken for each defense familiar equipped. Some people say that he's a good choice for engineer. I think just because of this. You get immunity to damage for 1.5 seconds in HP and heal recovery 50%. And the familiar skill damage 5%. So if you look at immunity to damage, if you look Mountain Lion, it's a little difference because Mountain Lion is like immortal. So even if they try to stun you, other stuff. But here is just, they cannot deal your damage. So that's one thing to point out. That's why I think they even put this crit resist. And this is a very peculiar one. I never seen this in action, but they morph the most distant enemies in pumpkins for 5 seconds. So this, in the current meta, this is very good. Because who you guys think is the most distant familiars nowadays? Toko. And I lost so many times because the Toko keeps healing how the team. Toko, and they normally put the Toko and the String Parlor. And these two keeping their team alive, and even if you are more stronger, you cannot beat them because the time finish. So this can be a good counter, but I don't think it's in long term is a good investment. But in short term, like for the next 4 months, 3 months, it's a good choice. So I think the priorities, if you play a lot PvP, maybe depending of your hero, maybe you can choose one of them. I will personally choose Hippocampus because he's a very viable option even nowadays on Familiar Arena. But if Kona is available, I'll get Kona for sure. He's much more difficult to get. And I think Bunnybot, in the case of Bunnybot, she's can be a good one. If you already have it, then can be a good option. And Arachnes, sometimes I saw Arachnes on Familiar Arena actually. Sometimes they put Arachnes there, but it's not that common. I think they use her a lot because she increased the damage the enemies take. So if you have a very offensive team, she can work in the Familiar Arena. But I've seen her more in PvP as not the main attacker, but as a support because of her passive. So I think in general that's it. I'm very curious what will be. If these two guys will be there available, or this Kona also. So I'm very curious. And considering that in Korea they also have the Kona banner recently during this time. So I'm very curious if there will be Kona here available for global players. So I think that's it guys. So this is one thing to keep in mind. Make sure to log in every day. And tomorrow I do this about this rare 4-star equipment selection. Because I'm not sure if the Asteroid Shop equipment will be there. So the choice will be changed depending on the situation. So I think that's it guys. Hope this tier list give you some idea on what to choose. So I think for now that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And see you on the next video.